Rebonsoir, chers frères et sœurs. Nous revenons ici où les portraits sont agrandis. Le Seigneur nous montre là un scénario agrandi que nous observons. Là où ma face est au coin de Harvest Welcome. Je suis en bas, comme vous voyez, au même endroit. Et en haut, vous avez la lumière qui s'est intensifiée sur le portrait qui est au-dessus de moi, en haut. Il y a une manifestation de la lumière sur le portrait. Vous voyez que moi, je suis assise en bas avec ma face illuminée. En haut aussi, c'est bien illuminé. À l'endroit où nous avons l'image d'un couple. Là, vous voyez vous-même, la femme est derrière, l'homme est devant. Je ne sais pas si vous voyez comme moi je vois. Il fait bouger l'image. Et moi, je suis assise ici, plus bas, comme vous voyez, avec ma face transfigurée, comme vous voyez. Et là-bas aussi, ils sont transfigurés. Deux personnes, vous voyez bien. Merci Seigneur. Merci mon Dieu. Toi qui nous montres ces merveilles. Voyez, la lumière est là, sur le mur. Et cette lumière va jusqu'à à la chambre où Maman Marie descend souvent. Donc, vous voyez vous-même, ça nous montre les endroits badigeonnés par sa sainteté. Voilà le petit point qui nous montre là. La Sainte Vierge, elle descend dans la chambre, comme vous voyez. Et vous voyez que la lumière de la chambre de l'autre côté là-bas est bien belle. Et nous disons merci au Seigneur pour tout ce qu'il fait pour nous, car tout ce qu'il fait est bon. Merci Seigneur. Nous disons gloire à Dieu. Me voici, vous voyez le petit point à deux. Il y a deux points. Je suis là. Le petit point vous montre mon portrait est là. Et en haut, le portrait de Marie-Madeleine et le Christ. Un couple qui signifie aussi la création de l'homme et la femme. C'est l'enseignement d'aujourd'hui. La famille universelle est composée de deux sexes, femmes et hommes. Nous disons gloire à Dieu, frères et sœurs. Vous voyez comment, là où il y a l'intensification de lumière, là où il me pose, c'est très intensifié. Regardez vous-même au-dessus de la photo que Jésus m'a donnée. Regardez comment la lumière vient de l'extérieur. Elle est là. Nous sommes dans la même maison. Comprenez donc que la lumière prend des directions. Comment comprendre? Ici aussi, là où il me fait descendre souvent. Vous voyez, à l'entrée là, voilà. Ici pour sortir, là où il me pose souvent. Partout où il m'a posé, c'est-à-dire mon portrait, il badigeonne ça de sa lumière divine. C'est plus clair que les autres murs. Vous pouvez comprendre ça. Partout où il a posé mon portrait, vous voyez que c'est plus clair. Nous sommes à la cuisine et nous retournons au salon. Et nous disons merci au Seigneur. Et gloire à lui. Louons-le, glorifions-le. Il vient nous sortir du chaos. Le monde a été transformé et c'est pour ça que sur ma thèse, mon livre, je vous lis l'endroit où j'ai dit que le monde a été tourné à l'envers. Excusez-moi parce que quand il me surprend, je n'ai pas le temps. Donc, dans mon livre de thèse, je cite où je dis que à la page 15, page 15, pardon. Je dis, section 1, 2, 4. A search for a new national, regional and international order. C'était ma recherche, la phase là. In search for a model with theoretical, practical, and policy orientation to African economic development, my research and studies focus on sub-Saharan Africa backwardness and economic crisis compared to China economic reform and development achievement. My comparative studies on these issues praise China as the best step-by-step reform and economic development in this 21st century, witnessed by African ISIS. A boom predicted since 1990 that I have maintained as an echo at each meeting, forum, or conference worldwide. The research field works from Africa to China and academic achievements show a substantial gain of mastering world economic theories and principles of social and political economic development in the contemporary economic system that confirm knowledge, skills, and professional experience with great impact on interests on the purpose, perspectives, and objectives intended by this hardship and difficult research and academic framework and investigation about African countries and diaspora interracial interaction and development of the world economic development system since the 19th century revolution changes. The research framework presents a complete economical, anthropological analysis and overview with new discoveries that hasn't been previously published by any other research framework before 1995. Starting of her echo as discovery regarding the brotherhood linking China to Africa. Furthermore, the most closest links of all the Golden Age present a high achievement by the presence of African people in China economic development long time ago, from Shang dynasty to Tang and Zhou, where lies her ancestral rules. See the late Tang and Song, the flowering of Chinese culture, chapter 6. East Asia, tradition and transformation, page 116, by John K. Fairbank, Edwin O. Rachel, Albert M. Cran, Harvard University, 1973-1978. And the title is The China Writing System, Tang Dynasty, Book, East Asia Tradition and Transformation, by John K. Fairbank, Edwin O. Rachel, Albert M. Craig, Harvard University. By the methodological research fieldwork process, she discovered firstly at Lijiang County and Kunming City her family name Ndomo Melingui and lineage of many ancestor names such as Tang, Mozendong, Ndong, Zang, Zeng, Ndomo Melingui, Za, Kuna Chailun, who discovers the process of paper by wood pulp, similarly with the process developed in Cameroon and other African countries, and dialects spoken in that special community of minorities of China, where it is said Nkunkum for a great traditional chief, as my father was named, because he was a traditional patriarch of Eton Beti tribe in Cameroon. Then in Kaifeng, the first step where the people who crossed the river by foot during their hardship period of slavery in Egypt settled. I enjoyed a kind of being home with the small descendants group of the primitive Chinese family connected. In Lijiang, during the 2002 Springs Festival, a meeting with the people of Nasi Tomba culture and museum after comparing the double chart of the old writing pictographic dialect of the primitive Bantu Etonbeti lost in the 13th century, the captivity and slavery dilemma of African people, and the Nasi Ndomba primitive writing chart in the Cultural Museum, a cooperative project was initiated for a further research program between the author and the Museum of Lijiang, China. On December 30, 2003, a second fund was the starting point of the old Silk Road, where I was so surprised with an old Chinese historian, teacher, able to retrace the old pilgrim road from China to Africa, back forth. He presented also the business and trade organization as barter, all the process between Africa and Asia, a wonderful Pangmang or Pangma system of our primitive economic system rediscovered in China. This is one of the most important game theory to apply for a quick takeoff and enhance of Africa-China trade. The old Silk Road discovered will bring more closely the goods traded between Africa and China. For in the brotherhood interaction, the win-win game stands the sole enhanced prize. Communication is the first powerful weapon in the intercourse of any friendship. Therefore, this powerful Chinese primitive and traditional dialect and writing system of the old dynasties, similar to the author's mother language, Beti, writing pictograms, which still alive in China, although lost in its original homeland, Africa sub-Saharan region, needs a further research and development projects and program to enhance China and Africa for better cooperation and relationship. This new discovery of the primitive pictographic writing system, see early Chinese traditions, page 20, 21, 23, 22, 23, it be of the Chinese writing system, Tang Dynasty Culture, book, East Asia Tradition and Transformation by John K. Fairbank, Edwin O. Reshaw, Albert M. Cran, Harvard University. And we continue the reading. Then we said this new discovery of primitive pictographic writing system confirm another great advantages of Chinese writing system, that is easily surmounting differences of dialect or more fundamental linguistic barriers. This will probably be a key solution in communication during the further business relation in source cooperation, with the evidence of alphabetic double chart discovered by the author of this essay, sharing and exchanging through unrestricted trade, the benefits of our tools with our partners enables us to overcome our shame. For a country without culture is as a river without source. As Chinese people have been praised in this framework as the only keepers of most of the traditional customs and cultural heritage of the old world. This return home will be a heroic deed indeed. The biggest key solution for source cooperation and relations and better understanding. An inscribed Anyang bone is described on page 22 and 23 as following. Chinese character. The monosyllabic and uninflected nature of the Chinese language helps account for the retention by the Chinese of a writing system which, like that of ancient Egypt, originated from pictographs, but unlike hieroglyphics, always remained true to the basic principle that each monosyllabic word should have its unique symbol or character. Infection would long ago have forced the Chinese to a more flexible phonetic system of writing. It is said that the Chinese writing system encountered in the Anyang finds had already undergone a long development and had progressed far beyond simple pictograph. Antecedents for this writing, in fact, seem to exist inside of 5th millennium BC. Shang inscription on bone reveals by the name Shang the connection between Africa and Asia in old age. The same book you will read on page 23, 24, 25, the reference that I give. The first hand essay that covers 22 years theoretical and practical preliminary worldwide research and studies will empower the author to an ongoing further research and development, R&D, propositions of exchange program to enhance such countries for a strategic win-win game theory that will allow a full participation under globalization. The win-win game theory also a traditional heritage dialogue paramount of the old world toward a planning old age system that the wind from the east will apply an abrupt awakening of the weak motherland of the West as emergence of present-day economic system beyond the horizon. Then, if the horizon were to be changed to an Andes, Africa sub-Saharan region, we learn to face it and then shape its destiny. Section 1241, a combined theoretical and practical research and studies. Furthermore, this unique essay of a combined theoretical and practical research and study will apply an anthropological economic development under globalization as key solution of Africa sub-Saharan region. The author unique model to date that she will like to set from Africa sub-Saharan countries will show way to this weak continent. Emergence of new world system will be justified in various ways and on different levels. It may even be seen as a new trend of cultural phenomenon, an attempt by the culturally non-dominant nations to reassert their indigenous identities, rejecting the superimposition of foreign culture and value. Therefore, as key solution for African countries' development, the framework we like to apply the example of Chinese step-by-step therapy of economic reform and development that the author witnessed during her 10 years experience and studies from Cameroon to China across the world, combined with fieldworks, research, and studies in China during 1994-2005. To try a takeoff strategy of Africa sub-Saharan, the weak region of all, in light of practice in Chinese economic reform and development. An amazing and huge field work, records, accomplishment with such a little financial position is unbelievable but true to appreciate and reward. Then we have section 1242, publication by the authors. Many articles in newspapers, magazines, accompanied by several interviews, media, TV, channels, and radio, and journalists of some newspaper and TV, home, abroad, and China. Writers and documentaries producers already mentioned Ndomo Melingui Thérèse Aisha achievements in their program and book. Some are searching for financial funds and cooperation with partnership in China to shoot a film or a documentary on this performance. In our nowadays era, my long-run research and studies demonstrate unique worldwide marathon to date. Being an African, Bantu of Cameroonian, crossing rivers and lands, east, west, and north, south, following the footprint of her ancestors along the triangular trade road marked by their march under deportation and slavery, our sorrow and dilemma. Thus, the fulfillment is for this ultimate cry to shape our destiny in peace and share the real universal family called globalization. Let us call it Future Africa Takeoff in Light of Practice in Chinese Economic Development. Her dreams and predictions will come true. People will say, a divine mission fulfilled. I'm reading my book, Future Africa Sub-Saharan Takeoff in Light of Practice in Chinese Economic Development. A Divine Mission, wrote by Dr. Ndomo Melingui Thérèse. Yes. Brothers and sisters, we need to learn what happened to us. Then we need to figure out how to move, because what is here, like the case of joint production and the problem of general equilibrium, that didn't be taken into consideration in all the corporations that you have been doing in business in Cameroon especially. So I hope that in the 21st century you will learn, or we will learn, what means trade. We will learn what is our destiny to move further. That was what I wanted to share with you in the world economy. This book can be found at FNAC in France, Amazon worldwide. And the title, I repeat, is Future Africa Sub-Saharan Takeoff in Light of Chinese Takeoff in Light of Practice in Chinese Economic Development. This is the book. Let us read our book to understand what to do. Sorry. This is the book. To read, to understand why there are two persons here, Chinese and Africans. We are green, they are red. And it is a divine mission. Thank you, Lord. A divine mission. You can see how I'm working in both areas, both aspects. Academically and spiritually. God bless all of you and give you the wisdom to understand where we are going